Why I was labeled a misfit, and how I overcame it. People will always judge you, and that's okay. If you're at a point where you don't get why people are always talking about you. If you're frustrated because you think their actions are because of your doing. Don't blame yourself. When people label you, it's their perceptions at work. You don't have to believe it. Why did people call me a misfit? When I look back, I was always different. I wasn't loud. I knew my boundaries. I knew when to say no, even if it meant I was going to be ridiculed. My demeanor hasn't changed, and I'm glad I managed to withstand peer pressure. I was a misfit in people's eyes because I didn't agree most of the time. I had my own way of doing things, and yes, sometimes I may have overdone it. But in the end, when you have emotional intelligence, you see the world in high resolution. One moment of fun may be viewed as such by your peers, but when you have emotional intelligence, you grasp the bigger picture. It's only now I get people telling me, if I hadn't said no back then, that night could have changed our lives forever. It's only now that people reach out to me for consultation. Because I haven't changed, I have matured. I am the same person, but with a better understanding of why I used to say no, and why people saw me as a misfit. Oxford Languages on Google describes a misfit as a person whose behavior or attitude sets them apart from others in an uncomfortably conspicuous way. So, if I were to ask you this question, can one be labeled as a good misfit? Why? You're different because you have principles. You're not a people pleaser, and that's a good thing. You're calculated, meaning your goals are achieved and not rushed. You're grounded, which a lot of people lack in society, and that's why you'll always find resistance. How to change your perception when people belittle you. Being a people pleaser is not good, and if you're labeled as a misfit because you say no to bad things, be okay with it. It's easy to talk about the past because I've gone through it. If you're finding it hard to deal with it today, just know that I've gone through similar periods where I was bullied and ridiculed for doing the right thing. Don't fall for peer pressure. Don't change your mindset because someone will not befriend you if you're different. Being different is good. My mindset has always been my biggest advantage in life, or I would have found myself in bad situations I couldn't get myself out of. Why I was labeled a misfit, and how I overcame it. When you think outside the box, your perception grows. You learn about other people's weaknesses. Why people push you to do things with them because of their own inferiority. Gaslighting is a big example of people fighting you because of their inferiority complex. They want you to fail or be sad in order for them to feel happy. It's all about emotional control when you deal with people. Who has it, and who lacks it? Who understands it, and who doesn't understand it? If I have emotional intelligence, I'm able to see your actions towards me and know when you're trying to control me. I see your bullying tactics and I say no. I hear your bad words when you label me a misfit, and I block it. When you see it, you cannot unsee it, and this is the power I'm giving you. Conclusion. The power of emotional intelligence means that when you develop yourself, you'll be able to see how people's actions towards you cannot affect you. Gaslighting, bullying, and people with inferiority complexes will not manipulate you. You control how you feel, and you're not swayed by day-to-day unavoidable events. And that's today's message. If you found value in the content, drop a comment below and share this message.